Hi, my name is Mike.
And I'm Steve.
And this is COMX-TV. We're your weekly everything to do with comics show.
That was a good start.
Thanks. Let's see. This week is our eighth show. We're over the hump. We're halfway over. We're into our second half of the season, of our first season. I think things have been going pretty good. I think each week has gotten better. As you can see, we're in another situation here, filming in another location. As time permits, sometimes we have to film in different locations.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us a quick rundown of sort of a rating system, since we don't abide by it all the time. We vary from it all the time.
Okay. We used to have a 5-star rating system, but that got too confusing with 3s and 4s. So now we have a 3 rating system. Either it's good, it's okay, or don't even bother buying it. It's just terrible. So we're going to use that rating system on the next couple books that we have, and, well, you can either take our judgment or you don't have to. You don't have to listen to us, but this is our personal views.
And this week's show is going to be a bit shorter in seeing us here, because we are finally going where?
To the Star Trek convention.
After talking about it for, I think, the entire season, we are finally going there. We're going to video. We're going to end our show with that. So we're going to do a little, the news is cut down. There's no previews this week. Next week we'll get back to our complete normal format. But we're going to have a whole ton of reviews, a little different. We're going to skip part of it. But we've even got some new convention mentions, too.
New ones. It only took 8 weeks because nobody's writing to us.
Yes, where's our mail? Come on.
Come on, mail us mail.
Mail us mail.
Mail us mail.
Snail mail to us.
Yes.
Okay, this week, I guess we'll begin with our weekly news. Let's see. This week in comics, what do we have? Oh, last week when we spoke about the industry implosion, what happened?
It's nearing.
Oh, yeah. And some companies such as Image have already begun cutting back on their titles, like we spoke of a few weeks.
5 titles being canceled after 5 issues.
Right. So, in this week's Comic Buyer's Guide, there's a bit of information that was in the editorial, and this is for people that are thinking about jumping on the publisher bandwagon, the bandwagon, producing their own shows. They quote, "No, don't do it, not now, period, end of quote." In other words, there's too many out there, don't even try it now.
If you notice, too, if you take a look at the independents, there's a lot more independents out on the market than there used to be also. So everybody's trying to jump their own ship, as Mike said, do their own thing, but it just ain't going to cut it. Okay, the August 5th edition of Rolling Stone reported that Marvel Comics will be publishing rock music comics starting this fall, sort of like the other rock and roll comics, including our Green Jelly, Alice Cooper, and Slaughter. Currently, Revolution is the main music comic publisher right now. Hand me that right there.
They don't do this one. This is a new one.
A new one out. Grateful Dead Comics. It's like 7 of their greatest comics, but Revolution does do a comic on the Grateful Dead and on all your other different bands that you want.
I might do this.
He might review this.
Grateful Dead do have their comics, so I might do it sooner or later. That's about all the news we got this week. We're going to cut it a little short. We don't even have a weekly top 6 because we didn't have time to get it. This week we're actually taping a couple days early too, so it's making things a little difficult.
But we're just as good.
Always. So we're going to go right into our books. This week we're not going to have our camera changes as we usually do, which we think comes out pretty good. If you don't like it, tell us. But we're going to go to our books, and Steve, you can go first.
Okay. My first one is Meteor Man #2, adaptation of the movie. Now, I read this. I really liked it. It was sort of an interesting twist in it. The movie should be coming out. Matter of fact, the movie is out right now. I recommend going and see. If it's anything like the book, it should be very good.
Well, go
oh, do you want me to go through?
Do them all.
Okay, Ren and Stimpy #11. This one is real cute. Real good for the kids. Mom and dads go out and buy it. Teach a little values to kids about how to control their tempers and everything. I'd recommend this. I gave this one a 3. It's a real good one.
Oh, good.
The Ferret #2. This series is starting to heat up now. He's still looking for Toxin poison him. He's got about 72 hours to live, so he's got to find him and find a detoxin and typical superhero stuff. The Savage Dragon versus the Turtles. In this one right here, there's a hot-looking babe named Dart. She is hot. And this one's got a different twist to it with the Turtles being into it. They're sort of combining both series, Savage Dragon and Turtles. This one, it's sort of pricey, but it's worth it. And on the back, you flip it over, Vanguard, number 0. This has got to be worth some money someday, so take care of that one.
Sure.
Avengers West Coast, starring Raptor, a new character. I didn't like this one. It was too long and dragged out. They jumped from one story to another story, and I really didn't like it.
They stole Raptor from Jurassic Park.
They stole Raptor from Jurassic Park. Lobo, anybody who collects Lobo will know. Lobo is like a god. He is great. This one was great. He's fighting the Satan Brothers in a wrestling match. He dismembers them, jams their legs down their throats, and typical. Very good. Ghost Rider, Road to Vengeance. This has to be the best Ghost Rider I've ever read. This one was really, it kept my interest up.
Written by Steve Przybyla.
Yeah, written. It kept my interest up. The artwork is good. There's a great storyline. They're bringing some characters back to life, which it seems everybody's bringing characters back to life. But these are bad guys, which is really cool. And I would highly recommend this one.
As we know with Jason, nobody's really dead.
Nobody's ever dead like Jason. X-Men Unlimited number 2. This one slacked off compared to the first one. I found this one a little boring. It's a story all about Magneto and how two brothers are trying to kill him. Or actually one brother, because Magneto killed his brother and his wife. This one was sort of slow. I would buy it because I like X-Men themselves, but this is a giver-taker. Punisher Armory. This is number 7. Everybody who collects Punisher knows the Armory books. Everybody looks forward to the Armory books with all his new little gadgets. And this one deals more with like his cars, his apartments, his different computers. It really doesn't have all that many weapons. It does, but it doesn't. But I would still buy it. Really good book. Our special promotion section now. Danger Comics with Dick Boulder. These are done by Bill Jankowski and Mark Galvin. Yes, Mark Galvin. They're out of Hamburg, New York.
Now, listen, people, we're not getting paid by them anything. We're just doing this because they're local, that's all.
Yeah, and we like them. We're getting to get together with them guys and do a show right in their studio, which should be really ultimate. They'll give you a little tip on their next book coming out. Buy these. If your comic book guy don't have them, tell him to order them because they are fabulous. They're funny and the artwork's good. And for my last one, Star Trek The Next Generation, seeing as we're doing a Star Trek show. This one I read, it deals with a double universe, 2 Enterprises, doubles on each. You have Commander Riker, Captain Picard, which is a Borg, and they have to get him back like in the series. And this one, it kept your interest up right up until the end. It sort of slagged out at the end, but I would definitely buy it anyways because I like Star Trek myself, and I gave this one a top rating also. Okay.
Oh, you're done.
Oh, wake up. Michael, wake up.
Okay. I got a variety this week. I try to throw some new ones in during the week as I'm going through. First one this week. This is Warriors of Plasm number 1. I had this thing against Defiant and Plasm at first because they did so much advertising. So they had some money. I guess they have the right to do that. This book is great. Without a doubt, this is one of the best books I've read this year. The art is good, very good. The story is great. You just got to get it. It's really good, period. The Chromium Man, number 1. This is issue number 4645 of 30,000. That's how the printing is 30,000. And I like it for that idea alone, but the series is actually very, very good. The art, I like this. This has a different kind of art in this one, too. It's a little kind of sketchy, but I like it. I've had some other ones that I said that were sketchy that I didn't like. Back up here. But this one I do like. This is also very, very good. Solar Man of the Atom. I've got a list of stuff here. Why don't I just read off of it? Because I don't know where it is. Solar. This is number 26. Here it is. This is number 26. And this one, this is good. Very good, in fact. But it's not as good as the other two. I like the story. I like the premise behind it. It's worth taking a look at. The other two I would get, without a doubt. This is Mr. Average number 5. It's a black and white. This one, unfortunately, this is my very good week. Usually Steve has every other book very good or excellent. I usually have good ones, but this week, man, I read some great books. This is black and white. The story is really cool. Really, really good.
Really good?
Really, very excellently
cool, huh?
good. Very cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 50, halfway through to that pinnacle there of 100. This is a good book. It's good. Not bad. That's it. Animal Man, number 63. This one borders between good to very good. It's got a premise, I keep using that word, I guess it's the only one I can think of. Premise about the world, and they got some kind of sea monster that's like coming to claim the world back, because the people obviously are wrecking the world, polluting and everything. And it's really pretty neat the way the story goes. If you like that kind of stuff, it might be worth getting. It's pretty good. This one, unfortunately, you can't see, but this glows in the dark here, and so does this. This is Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday, #1. This is, there's cards in there, I forgot too. Comes with 3 little Jason cards. Woo. Look at them.
Let me look at him.
But, I didn't know what the movie was about, and this is good. The art's good. If you like Jason, you like this kind of stuff, it's good. You like this hack 'em slashing, this is good. Get it. Okay, this one here is an interesting one. This is Midnight's Quickies. This is from One Shot Press. I got a little thing going with them. They're out of Vermont or Connecticut, one of those what are they called? They're called states. City, country.
Vermont, the new country.
The new country.
Pretty cool. I live in Vermont.
But anyways, they got some real good stuff. They've got I forget what they call it, the Jolly Roger something or other. I'm going to review those next week. I got the first 3 issues. This Midnight Quick is behind. What the story behind this is, if anybody has a story or if they're an artist, they can get in here if they have really good work. They take it, and what this is a way to get unknown people published. And it's a really good idea. And Midnight's good looking, and they come with these excellent cards. What I'll whip through.
Cards are real cool, by the way.
These are really cool. You can't see them too well, but they're chrome, hollow prism ones, and they're cool. They get the real nice cards. I got this special with there's Midnight. I got those with this book here, and we have people knocking. What's going on? We're going to be good. But this is good, and I'll get into this a little more next week. Maybe give you an address where you can write to if you want to get something published. And the last one this week, Hate. Once again, I think Hate is great. This is number 3. I thought this was a new issue.
Win a Date with Stinky.
But this is from 1990. I don't know. It was in the new issue pile. I don't know if it's a reprint or what. But this is great. This story, I was laughing like crazy today when I was reading this. This book is great. Period. This is adults though. And you can spread us out here. The last one I'm doing this week is on our weekly series on comic book publications. This is a ripped cover of Comic Buyer's Guide number 1031. This is an excellent industry publication. The news is great. It has really good news. That's unfortunately, where we get some of our news from. It's got really good columns, including Peter David and some other well-known people. It has a letters column that provokes a lot of interest, and it has a lot of industry pros writing to explain different things. Like this one has a story about Rob Liefeld, how he created cable, and there's been a big thing going on about who really created cable.
Cable's been around for a while now.
And he claims he did it all.
I don't believe him.
He did everything.
Rob
Liefeld is God. This is mainly black and white, but there's a lot of ads. But if you like ads, it's really good. It's $2.50. I think this is probably the best industry publication out. And this one's going to be around forever. Issue 1031. It's been around for like 10 years, and it's going to be around for a long, long time.
1,031 issues on that. Yeah, I think there
is. Comes out weekly, so I think 1971 or somewhere around there was the first time it came out.
Cool.
So we're getting near the end of the show. This week, as we stated earlier, we have new convention mentions. Yay! So,
still clap. Okay.
So let's see. Give us some industry.
August 28th and 29th at East Aurora Main Street School. There's going to be a comic book show.
Yeah, it's going to be there. It's 2 days. Should be fun.
Stop down, check it out, because we probably will.
Check out the Gusto or something like that to see when it's going to be times.
Yeah. The second Wednesday of each month, Knights of St. John on William Street in Union has a card and comic collectors show. We've been advertising that one forever, so September 8th of this month.
going to be the next one. Okay, September 11th is one that we attended before. It's at the Elks Lodge, 285 Kenmore Avenue. They have another show there. I'm not going to tell you who's sponsoring it since they're not giving us anything, so why should we tell who they are?
Exactly.
But there's going to be a show there, and we did pick up some good stuff last time, so you might want to check that one out.
I just want to comment to different collectors out there. I picked up in one of the specials bin a Detective Comics number 253. It's roughly worth about, $275. So collectors, you can go out there and...
Steve got it for 2 cents.
No, I got it for $1. Guy must not have known what he was doing. Okay, the biggest show to hit our area in a long time will be held September 18th and 19th at the Erie County Fairgrounds. Hopefully we'll be out there too to do a live segment and try and get
It'll be live, but it'll be taped. And
live taped.
You'll see it like a week or so later. But maybe you can come on, be with us, we'll shake hands, we'll talk to you, we'll
walk
ask you
up to us and say, hey, you're those two idiots on TV.
You can give us free things. Or maybe we'll give you free things.
Stuff, so. Autographed copies of our picture.
There we go. We have to get some done.
Yeah, really.
Okay, I think that's about it for this week. We're going to wrap it up here because we're going to go to the Museum of Science and beam ourselves around some Star Trek exhibits. We'll show you what's there and take you through everything. So until next week, go out, buy some comics, read some comics. They're not just for kids. They're not just for collecting.
When you patronize your local comic shop, tell them you've seen it on COMX-TV. Peace.
All right, everyone, here we are. This is the transporter room. We were just beamed away to some Never Never Land here. Ooh, look at that. What the heck does Steve see? Okay.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Okay, in this Star Trek transporter room, this was pretty neat. It was all computer generated. This was all virtual reality, where, as you can see, it says reach out and interact with objects. What that means is the objects there, you were looking at a giant screen in front of you, and these objects, you could actually like move towards them and such, and they would move away. This was the dumbest one of them all. As you notice, if you hit some of them after a while, they change shape. Some of the little gems change into little daggers or whatever they are. If you hit them long enough, like that one there, I just hit it, and then it changed into a dagger. And I was trying to get it into Steve.
Actually, he was punching me.
I was trying to get Steve. I was trying to get that dagger to go into his heart, but it wouldn't work. This one was the corniest one of them all, but it was still pretty neat. We found this whole thing kind of interesting. Hit that damn thing. We look like goofs, as you can see.
Bye.
See ya. As you can see, Steve arrived, half of him alive. Some arrived, some of them have his molecules disappeared along the way. And that was it. The next, oh, there I go. Okay, here is a picture. Yeah, picture from the. This is from one of the movies, isn't it?
Yeah, this, I think Star Trek 3. Chekhov, and here's the old Enterprise going against the Excelsior.
This you'll see in a moment. I give a little picture of the description. It's a. It's supposed to be a gas ball. I don't think there's real gas in there. I think they're lying to us.
Look like Pearl shampoo.
Exactly. That's sort of what Jupiter's made out of, a lot of gases. And as you see, the gas giant there. You're missing whatever your mission is. Something about the gas giant. It's pretty neat. It's neat when you spin it around. You could see it. It does look like Pearl shampoo. But here's Steve now on one of his better days, when he is going to change into who?
A Klingon.
As you manipulate the light in the mirror, it was pretty neat. You could actually
make your face look like a Klingon.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. And now, what do we have, Steve?
Some type of spaceship used by the Ferengi, I believe. Two-man carrier. And, oh, there's a Ferengi. Look out for him with that little whip.
They had a lot of pictures and drawings, blueprints, It was kind of neat. Here's one of the costumes.
Rituian police uniform.
These were actual costumes that they had used in the show or in the movies. Some of them were very, very nice.
It's different. Hard to pronounce.
Yes. Star Trek: The Next Generation, the High Ground episode. Nice boots.
Yes. Galoshes.
Nice galoshes. Blue. Nice blue color also. Here is another one. I believe this was...
Mr. Spock.
Yes, Mr. Spock's.
Class A uniform worn by Mr. Spock in, I believe it was Star Trek 4.
That little line going down the middle of the screen's a pain in the butt, but I don't think we can get rid of it. Yes, Class A uniform. Steve memorized every single thing there.
When you go 16 times, this is what happens.
Okay, this is a little game that Steve was playing here. Pick out the antimatter.
I won.
He picked out all the protons and the antimatter, and he was a fantastic winner. You can't hear it, but it says success.
You have made antimatter.
Isn't that great? Making antimatter. Just what Steve always wished he could do. Oh, here's one of his relatives.
Hello, Uncle Lear.
This is a makeup head from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Some of these, like I said earlier, these were really neat, that you could actually see some of these things up close like this. And if you like Star Trek, it was definitely worth going to.
Definitely.
Here you go. This is for warp driving. They had a giant screen. Was this the one?
No, this was with the movie
yes.
with magnets.
Yeah, move the Enterprise with magnets to make it look like you're going in a warp drive. Kind of goofy. I don't understand the purpose behind it. I guess it's just so they had these little things in there in that little picture. I don't know how they generated that. Oh, there's Steve with one of his friends.
I got hair, he don't. Well, he does too.
Yeah.
Yep. Some of the pictures were really neat that they had there. Some of the different things, like this is Geordi LaForge's visor that he used. Actually, all it was like a hair comb that they put together. It gave a little story and different optical chips. It was pretty interesting. A little story on each thing, how they made them, what parts of different models they used, and just regular plastic.
That was a nice picture.
Very fuzzy. Very nice.
Personal access display device. This is neat. It sort of looks like a little Game Boy game. But if you saw real closely at the top, I mean, it's all detailed. They go to great detail for everything, even these little things that most people won't see.
There's a Type 2 hand phaser. There's a tricorder, I believe. And Beam Me Up Scotty, when they used to flick them open.
Yep. Starfleet tricorder. There's that phaser again, once
There's
again.
The Type 1 at the bottom right-hand corner.
There's the Type 1.
It's the personal phaser, the personal touch.
Oh, this was the giant screen. It was a 40-inch rear projection screen, and there was like 4 different games going on in front of it. There were different kinds of things that you could do, and I gather, I didn't sit and watch them all, but I gather if you completed some of the action scenes, you would actually create things on the screen. Like I saw the Enterprise on there once.
If you actually beat the game, it was a game. If you actually beat it, you got to pick out 2 different things to make the Enterprise do, whether it was firing phasers or warp drive. Now this was pretty cool. This was like 2 different magnets, one negative, one positive underneath, and it was for antimatter, a virus in your body, and how to reject it. And you had to find the right magnetic, as you can see it ejected them, the right magnetic field to connect the pieces. If you didn't, it would automatically push that piece right out. You could tell little kids were getting aggravated trying to jam everything into anything and then hold them in there.
Yeah, I saw quite a few people that would just sit there and they'd try to hold all the pieces in like that was going to win the game. The machine knows when it's correct or not, so...
Right there, it's correct.
Yeah. You have done whatever. Here's an infrared analysis. Oh, there's a nice little picture of...
Oh, this was one of the games off the large screen. This is the one I didn't succeed in, and everybody on the Enterprise died for lack of oxygen. You had to find a planet to beam them to. And if you didn't find a planet that was accessible for human life, you'd die. Now this one, you had combine electrons, protons, and neutrons without making them explode, which is literally impossible unless you're a rocket scientist.
Yep. That was the Star Trek convention at the Buffalo Museum of Science. It was quite fun. We enjoyed it. We talked about it a lot, and we hope to see you again next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.
And I know what you want from me, but I can't seem to feel the same. I don't know what to do anymore, but I can't take all the blame. Don't you know what I want from you? It's not something you can physically do. I need your love and support. I don't know what to say anymore, 'cause this is the end. You can't feel the way I do. I guess there's nothing more left to do. We've lost that love and song, and I guess it's really gone. We don't need a song and dance to prove that love can't last. I really think we should wait and stay apart till another day, 'cause this is the end. I know that you don't want to keep us apart, but you want my happiness, and this is the only way. I guess you could never see